Welcome to AI for Pastors. My name is Brandon Smith, and in this video, the thing that we're going to be tackling is how generative AI can help you create things like sermon slides or sermon graphics or slides that can be shown during a Sunday service. Oftentimes, as pastors nowadays, pastors are being expected to create content, create graphics, and not every pastor is skilled with graphic design, and so one of two things ends up happening: either pastors end up out of necessity putting out sermon graphics or slides, and they're really not, I say this lovingly, very good looking, and leave a lot to be desired, or they don't do it at all, and they end up not having graphics to go along with their sermons, or graphics to be displayed during a Sunday service, and these things that can really draw attention during a sermon, or focus the congregation on a certain point. And so there is value in having these slides that go along with your key concepts, or even just having scriptures on screen behind you while you're preaching. If done in a good way, can really add a lot and help the congregation follow along with your sermon. And so sometimes you just don't know how to do that, and we're going to look at a tool today that's really helpful and can really do a lot of the hard work for you. And so we're going to go through step by step, and I'm going to show you just based off of a past sermon that I've written, and how I can take that sermon, which is completely written out, and take that sermon and convert it into sermon slides. This entire process, we'll fast forward through some of it, but the entire process from start to finish took less than 15 minutes. So that's what we're going to do in this episode. If this is something that interests you, continue to watch. Again, this channel, the goal is to just help pastors learn about new technology that is available to them that can make our lives a little easier. And so that alleviates time and burden off of pastors, and allow us to focus on the things that are most important, the spiritual connections, the pastoral relationships that we're developing, and to take off some of the monotonous things that we have to do, like create sermon graphics. So that's what we're doing today. If this content interests you, if you're a pastor and you're wanting to learn more about these types of things, make sure to like this video, comment below on things that you'd want to learn more about in the future. If there's questions that you come up with during this video, let me know on the bottom, and we'll tackle those in future videos. But also make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell, so that way as more tutorials come out in the future, you'll be notified and you can get to follow along. There's a lot of things that we're going to talk about in the coming weeks, so make sure you're following and make sure you're up to date with all these stuff. So with that, we're going to jump into this new tool, and I'm going to show you exactly how I have gone and taken one of my sermons and created sermon graphics for it. Here we go. Here you can see this is a sermon that I have written. It's written out as a manuscript. If you were to operate your sermons through an outline, the same format would work as well. You can see here that I have some main texts. I have some key concepts, point one with some verses after it, point two, so on and so forth. And so these are the things that we would want slides made. This here is a tool called Typeset. It's a website that you could subscribe to. Here you'd want to go to Create Deck. That's another way of saying presentation. And you're going to get this screen. You're basically going to enter in, copy and paste information on the left, and you're going to start to see graphics made for you on the right. So here I'm going to put in just a title for the sermon. This sermon was titled The Transformative Love of God. And so we're going to type that in here as the title. And then you're going to start to see some graphics underneath it. It's starting to create different options that you could choose. And so I kind of like this, there's like a big featured image behind the text, but I don't necessarily care for that image. So you see a little button here next to the image that says replace. You can just click that. And again, this AI is trying to determine images that you may want to use. So it's seeing the words transformative love and is giving you some different options here. And these are all licensed photos that you can use. Here I try another one, but I don't really care for it too much. And so I'm going to continue to scroll, and I can just kind of choose and see which different ones that I like. And then here you see I'm creating the next slide. So you can either hit the little plus button or you can hit Command Enter if you're on a Mac. And I'm gonna go ahead and just copy the main title of what that next page would have on it. So this is gonna be the actual verse. So 1 John 4, 7 through 12. I'm gonna click the little plus underneath that, and I'm gonna add some normal text because I want the actual scripture to be smaller than the title. So I'm gonna copy and paste this again from the sermon that I've already written, and I'm just going to paste it below it. And you're going to see that it does all the formatting. It does all the worrying about making sure everything looks pretty. It does all of that for you. So we're going to create a new slide. And this is going to be a main kind of title slide to let the congregation know where we're at in the sermon. And so this is going to show point one. Again, I'm creating a new slide. Point one, the origin of love. And then I also want to include the little verses. So again, I'm going to add some normal text onto, and you can add images, subtitles, bullet points, whatever it is you need on a slide. So I'm going to now copy and paste verses 7 through 8. And I'm going to just add it on there, and you're going to see that it kind of formats it. Now you can see here, we click the little magic wand button, and it opens up the AI designer where it just, again, creates different templates and different themes that it think you might want to use. Now here, I've determined that I kind of want the main points to be white background with black text, and I want the text slides to be a black background with white text, just so it kind of breaks up the presentation a little bit. And so and now just fast forward through some of this so you can see the rest of the process. Okay, now we're wrapping up the sermon with the kind of a concluding slide, something to just be shown at the end of the sermon, which in my context would be at the end of the service. And so this is just kind of a see you next week, something to have up on screen while people are getting up from their chairs and kind of leaving. And, I kind of wanted a worshipful type photo. And so we're going to select the image. It's going to say see you next week. And we can, again, hit that little design button, and we can change the style of it a little bit if we wanted to, and really make sure that it's exactly what we want. It's a tool that really kind of holds your hand and helps you through creating your sermon graphics. And again, without fast forwarding this through, I created all of these slides in literally, I think, 10 to 15 minutes. So really easy system you can use. Anybody can use this. This isn't just for pastoral contexts, but certainly applies to pastoral contexts. We make a lot of presentations. We as a pastor, we're preaching weekly. That was just a very brief demonstration of an AI-based tool that can help you within your sermon graphic creation. And there's a lot more there. That's a really powerful tool that can do a lot to help. And I would encourage you to check out. Again, that's Typeset. I'll leave the link in the description to check that out. It's not free, but there are free options, and you can really use it in a couple different ways. So check that out. Again, link in the description. And really, what I hope you see here is it's a tool that, again, it's not going to do the work for you. Right, it's going to help you in doing the work in which you're already needing to do, and understand here that one of the qualifications for being a pastor is not graphic design, but we're in a day and time where there's a lot being demanded of pastors, and sometimes it's not the things in which we were necessarily expecting to be doing as pastors. We're finding ourselves doing more social media content creation, creating graphics for slides, and yes, there are some churches out there that may be blessed enough to have on staff graphic designers who can handle these things. But most pastors who are going to be watching this video, you may be the only person on staff at your church. Maybe you have one secretary, but you certainly don't have the funds to be able to go hire a full-time graphic designer to handle these things for you. And so what these tools allow you to do is, one, it's going to allow you to do things faster. It's going to allow you to create your content faster, but it's also going to help you do it better. And so it's a win-win. We're going to free up more time for you to be be able to spend with your congregants, to more time to study, more time to do other things. And then we're going to let these tools work for us and work with us to be able to create some good looking content that's gonna benefit you and saving time, but it's also going to benefit your congregation and your online reach and these sorts of things. So I hope that this was helpful to you. If you have questions or comments, leave them down below in the comment section. If there's something that you'd like to see in a future video, we're going to be talking more about specifically social media and content creation for that as well. And we have all sorts of content coming down the pipeline. So if this is content that is interesting to you, or you're a pastor and you're wanting to learn how you can do these things more efficiently, again, I don't want to repeat myself, but make sure you like this, subscribe, but also hit the notification bell, because then when I put out new tutorials in the very near future, you'll be notified and you come check them out and see if it's a tutorial of something that would interest you. And so with that, I just want to thank you for making it all the way through this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.